and welcome to All Things Nitty's Crochet channel. This is the linked half double crochet stitch. It is a beautiful one stitch, but it's 2 rows, a repeat, but the rows are identical except where you actually place the hook. Your count for this pattern is a multiple of 2 plus 1, and you can either do it with the correct size hook, and that will give you a tighter pattern, or this was done with a hook that's 0.5 millimeters bigger, and it gives you these lovely gaps through it, so it makes a lovely washcloth, tea towel, those kinds of things, and it's really fast. I've paired it with the spiral loop border that is available to view. It's in the description box below if you haven't seen it already. You just need to make sure when you've finished your pattern, before you start the border, you need to do a full round of single crochet, working a single crochet, chain 1, single crochet in the corner. So let's begin with your pattern. Multiples of 2 plus 1, and I'll get you there. Okay, so you've got your chain of 2 plus 1. We're going to begin in the second chain from our hook, and we're going to work a US half double crochet. So yarn over, go into the stitch, yarn over, pull a loop through, you have 3, yarn over, pull through all 3. Okay, so every row starts the same with a US half double crochet. To do this pattern, we're going to be linking 2 stitches together, and to do that, you're going to use this loop here. So if you can see, the half double crochet leaves you like 3 little legs. 1, 2, and 3. We're going to begin under the very first one here. So go under that loop, yarn over, pull a loop through. You have 2. And now we're going to jump to the next stitch along, pull up a loop, and now you have 3, and you're going to finish that like you would do a normal half double crochet, so pull through 3. When you pull through, don't do it too tight, because you're going to be working into the little leg there, so try and keep this one, when you're pulling through, loose. Okay, so back under that loop, pull a loop through, you've 2, into the next stitch along, you have 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 3, under that leg or loop, into the next stitch, you have 3, pull through all 3. Continue to do that all the way across the row until you've just got 1 stitch remaining, and we'll finish the row together. Okay, so you've got 1 stitch remaining. It's just the same process. You're going under the loop, pull a loop through, and then into the last stitch, yarn over, pull through, and then you pull through all 3. Chain 1 and turn your work. Okay, so row 2 begins the same. Once you've chained 1, we're going to work a half double crochet into the very first stitch. So yarn over, make sure you have both loops on, yarn over, pull through, you have 3, yarn over, pull through 3. Okay, so when working half double crochet, you get what's called the third loop. So you can see we have the back loop, the front loop here, and this extra loop, the third loop. Your first stitch on row 2 and your last stitch, you're going through both parts, but in between, you're going to do your pattern, so pick up the loop, and then you're going through the third loop and the front loop only. Pull a loop through, you have 3, yarn over, pull through 3. Here's the loop, pull it up, and then you can see here. So we have, we have the third loop. Okay, so you have the third loop here, the front loop, and the back loop. You're going through the third and the front, or 1 and 2, however you like to think. Okay, so do that and pull through 3. Again, under the loop, pull a loop up, and then through the third loop and the front loop only. I'll show you one more time, and then I'll get you at the end of this row. Okay, so the third loop's here, front loop there, you're going through those 2, and that leaves the one at the back here unworked, that you can see just at the very top. Okay, So pull through all 3. Continue to do that, and I'll get you at the end of that row. Okay, so you've got 1 stitch left. It's the same process. Pick that loop up, and then this time you're not going through the 3rd loop. You're making sure you're through the front and back loop just to match up at the front. Okay, and then work your half double crochet. Chain 1, and then you're going to repeat that row 1. So that's where you start with a half double crochet, you pick the loop up, and then you go through the front and back loop. So you just do this row as normal, and then on row 2 you make sure you go through the 3rd loop and the front loop only. So the pattern here that I've done it with a hook size that's 0.5 millimeter bigger, and like I say, I've paired it with the beautiful spiral loop border. So that was the linked half double crochet stitch. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you do the border, the video is in the description box below. You could leave me a wee thumbs up on that if you could. So